All right.
Those are recording. Aux pump is coming on. Pattern clear, radio call, parking brake is off, crosswind correction, we have no crosswind. So we will switch. So we'll move forward up to this hold short line. And we're at runway 9. And we'll switch to that, and then the only other thing that I'll do is I am going to, he told me on departure it's 125.7, and that's in our backup frequency now. So once he hands us off, we're ready to go on 125.7. Stinson Tower, Sting 234 Yankee Papa is ready to go runway 9.
Sting 234 Yankee Papa, Star Roger, turn right, shift Sting 210, runway 9, cliff takeoff. Winds calm.
Clear for takeoff, right turn 210 for Yankee Papa. All right. And away we go.
All right. Sorry, I'm supposed to be quiet.
All right, so we're going to give it some throttle here. So power is set. Airspeed is alive over here. Instruments all look good. We're looking for 45 knots. We've got 45. And we're off. We've got a positive rate of climb, and our flaps come up. And we're gonna stay straight down the runway, and we'll wait to make our turn until we're past the runway.
Stinson Tower, Cherokee 5714 uniform, hold short 14.
Cherokee 5714 uniform, Star, hold short 14 for traffic.
Hold short 14 uniform.
All right, so we're going to turn to 210.
Sting 4 Yankee Papa, contact departure 125.7 and request on course with them.
Over to 125.7 for Yankee Papa. So then we're going to switch over to that. And we just listen for a second or two before we broadcast, make sure that nobody's talking at all. Oh, 210, so we passed it a little bit. There we go. So we're climbing out at about 80 knots. San Antonio approach, Sting 234 Yankee Papa is with you, 1,400 off Stinson.
234 Yankee Papa, San Antonio departure, right there.
Good afternoon, San Antonio departure, Cessna 7815 Delta is at 1,500, climbing 2,500, heading 160.
7815 Delta, San Antonio departure, radar contact, get on course.
Proceed on course to Stinson 7815 Delta.
November 4 Yankee Papa, radar contact a mile south of Stinson, get on course and then clear the 75.
Yeah, this really sucks.
Oh, it's terrible. Terrible way to spend your Wednesday afternoon, Tuesday afternoon.
My God.
Board 42, set approach, welcome. What's your request?
A little bit of airflow there.
442, plotting 020 to center maintain 4,000. November 4 Yankee Papa, proceed on course.
On course for Yankee Papa. So then, let's go activate. That resets our destination from here. We can turn autopilot
engaged
and navigation. We can set our altitude to 6,500 and select.
442, mini altitude, just maintain 8,000 for now.
Nice.
And there we go. 5,500 feet. We're almost to our cruise altitude, and then we'll see what it's like up there. I hope it's smoother. So once we level off at cruise altitude, then we'll speed up.
441, San Antonio approach. Randolph 8 is Victor Charlie. What's your
what is this blue number in the top corner saying?
96.
Okay. So that's how fast we're actually going through the air right now.
441, Red.
Departure American 2038's with you at 2,700 kilometers.
And then with the wind in our face, we're actually doing 84.
American 2038, San Antonio departure, better contact.
Hopefully it's still facing the same direction when we're going back.
Yeah. Usually how it is.
441, plotting
one leg
020.
is
going to maintain
low and one leg is pass.
Crazy. This is beautiful.
November 45 kilo, proceed on course, send from DOR.
Now I'll turn on the autopilot.
Autopilot engaged. Entering altitude hold mode.
And it's just going to turn us, because we were a little bit left of the line that it wanted us on.
The heading, yeah.
So it's just going to turn us a little bit. So there's a few different types of speeds. So what this tape over here is giving us, and yours as well, is called, and that one is called indicated airspeed. And that
Good afternoon, San Antonio approach. Cessna 7815 Delta is with you at 1,800, climbing 2,500, heading 120.
7815 Delta, San Antonio departure, ident, proceed on course.
Ident, proceed on course, 15 Delta.
based on the pitot tube on the wing and how fast the air is.
15 Delta is better contact, 2 miles
That's
south.
how fast it thinks we're going through the air right now.
Okay.
However, as you go up in altitude, the air is thinner, and so the air hitting it is less than it would down there, so we're actually going faster.
4 Yankee Papa, radar service terminated, squawk VFR,
Squawk VFR, 4 Yankee Papa.
Alright, so he just got us out of the area, and that's fine. We don't need flight following all the way over there. So we're actually going faster than that, and so that's what this number is up here. True airspeed is taking the altitude into consideration. How high are we actually going through the air? And what does it say we're doing right now?
118.
Yeah, so 118 cruise is the normal cruise speed for this one.
Explain these to me again.
All right.
You said them all pretty fast.
Manifold pressure is the pressure within inside the cylinder heads.
What's the goal?
So it's variable between like 20 and 25. When you use a so in bigger planes where you have a throttle and a propeller lever and a fuel mixture lever, you'll set your manifold pressure and your RPMs to what you want. So some people will fly like 24 inches of manifold pressure, 2,400 RPMs on the prop. And so that's like a one setting that people will use.
Okay.
This doesn't have an adjustable prop, so the manifold pressure doesn't really matter in this because it's a fixed pitch prop.
Okay.
So we mostly go by engine RPMs. And in this, so the Rotax engine it runs at a higher RPM, so the normal like Homing and Continental engines in Cessnas run at 2,000 to 2,400 RPMs, and the propeller is directly attached to the crankshaft, and so the propeller is also spinning at 2,000 to 2,400 RPMs.
Yeah.
This has a gearbox reducer.
Good afternoon, extra Bravo in the
And
6,400, descending 6,000.
it's like a 2.3 factor reducer, and so at 5,000 RPMs, our prop speed is still like 2,300, so that it's a normal propeller speed.
Okay.
Oil pressure is the pressure within the oil lines. So there is, instead of like a traditional crankcase with an oil pan under it, there's an external oil can with lines that go to the engine. And so as the engine spins, it pressurizes those lines and pushes oil back to that sump.
Gotcha.
So oil pressure, oil temperature. Cylinder head temperature, there's two like spade connectors attached directly to a bolt on the cylinder head. And it just reads the engine of the head, or the temperature of the head. Exhaust gas temperature, so the there's a probe sticking in the exhaust manifold, and that's reading the temperature.
Poor bastard.
Yeah. That actually was broken off, and I had to get that replaced like a month after I got this.
Okay.
We pulled out the exhaust gas sensor, and there was like an inch of it missing. Which is fine when it flies out the exhaust. It's not fine when it goes into your turbo if you have the turbo version of this engine. So,
oh, Jesus.
and then fuel flow in gallons per hour and gallons remaining of fuel.
Got that one. Yeah.
So
Okay.
there's 21 gallons in the main tank. There's 6 in each wing, so 32 total. 33.
33. Yeah.
There was about 28 in it. You kind of guess. So I added 10 yesterday. There was about 18 in it, just kind of eyeballing like how much was in the main tank. So you just come in here, set fuel, and you just go 10 above what it was at or what you think it's at. So I went to 28, and so that gets you pretty close to how much fuel is in it. This is incredibly accurate because there's an actual fuel flow meter in the fuel line going to the carburetors, and so this number here is very accurate. That one's variable.
Okay. Excellent. All right, so if you pass out, so I try to shake you and you're not waking up, I hit AP, level us out.
Yeah, which honestly it won't do anything because we're already level.
Right, but like if you had the stick.
Yeah, if I had the stick, you hit autopilot level.
Like, we're done.
Yep.
7700, enter. Do I?
Just 7700, and it just automatically will go.
That changes that, and then I think the card said 12121.
Yeah, you have a card on your side too.
Oh, sweet. I think it was 121.5.
Yeah?
Yeah. So I would go on here, dial in, force and fine, 121.5.
Yep.
And then hit the arrow, and that sends it, and then I just say,
yep, and then
press this guy. Emergency, okay. Flap set to half.
Flap set to half.
Landing strobe lights on.
So taxi off, landing and strobe are on.
Okay. Transponder set to alt.
Okay, altitude.
Initial heading and altitude.
Yeah, so we are, we're gonna turn to an east heading about 090 after takeoff.
Okay. Takeoff brief complete. Canopy closed and locked.
Okay, canopy is locked.
Alright. Takeoff time recorded. Auxiliary fuel pump on.
Aux fuel pump on.
Pattern clear, radio call complete.
Alright, the pattern is clear.
Okay, park and brake released.
Uvalde traffic, Sting 234 Yankee Papa, departing runway 15, east departure, Uvalde.
There isn't really much of a crosswind to consider, but we will consider it.
Okay, considered. And final upwind check complete.
Yep, final upwind check complete.
Alright, you are.
So we will center ourselves. And away we go.
Alright.
So power is set. Airspeed is alive. Instruments all look good. We've got 45. Rotate. And we have a positive rate of climb. Flaps coming up.
Hey, Juliet Charlie, you on 228? Uvalde traffic, Sting 4 Yankee Papa, left crosswind, 15, headed over the solar panels, departing the pattern to the east, Uvalde.
right, so we're at 3,000 feet, halfway there.
Okay.
Yeah, so traffic 95 Charlie, 4 miles east, 2,700 descending, 45 left downwind, runway 16. I got both the biplanes on my iPad.
If it gets a little bumpy up at 5,500, we'll just come back down here to 3,500 because it's not bad right here.
Roger.
My general rule of thumb is the higher the better. If you, so in a helicopter, you know, you're going to sink straight down and then you auto rotate and you get one shot. In a plane, depending on how high you are, if you're like 2,000 or 3,000 feet above the ground and you lose an engine, you can probably glide like 5 or 6 miles. And if you're 6,000 or 7,000 feet above the ground and you lose your engine, you may be able to glide for 10 or 12 miles. And so you may be able to, you know, you hit the nearest button on here, it's going to tell you, okay, nearest airport is 6 miles. And we're going to go to, oh, yeah, we would turn around and go back. Or 10 miles, go straight ahead. So the higher you are, it's just a built-in safety factor as well. As long as it's not too windy and as long as you're not having issues up there. I would rather fly higher. Alright, so we are at 5420. Just about right there. So we're going to level off here. Aux pump is coming off.
I was about to say, it's the only thing we really haven't done.
We're going to check our instruments and make sure that they still look good with the aux pump off, and they do. Fuel flow still looks good. And now we're going to accelerate to hopefully like 130 knots. We'll see.
That'd be awesome. You're 104 TAS.
Yeah, so once we have 118 over there, we should have at least 125 here.
Nice. 110.
What's the wind at our back? Oh, it's a crosswind. That's why we're not getting as much push from it now.